Today we're in Death Valley National Park. Came up this nice little road here to this site known as Rhodes Springs. Now this building is right next to the spring, which is located right there where that tree is. Originally discovered around 1886 by an A.G. Rhodes, this was a silver mill. The mine itself is several miles further up inside the hills, and we will not be visiting that today. Now, Mr. Rhodes did not build this cabin. This cabin was built between 1930 and the 1960s with all the other prospectors that came after Rhodes. The main reason for bringing you here is the story. In 1886, Mr. Rhodes had sacked 1,200 pounds of silver, and he took it to the mills in Daggett, California. By that time about time he got to Daggett, it was summer. So he waited to the end, looked for investors or people who were interested in purchasing the property. So in the spring of 1887, Mr. Rhodes, along with several other men, left Daggett heading to this site. They were never seen or heard from again. And that's where the story of the Rhodes Lost Mine came about. No one really knew the actual location of this site until December 1905, when 3 prospectors were in the area looking for on-stake ground. They happened to come across Rhodes' original location monument. You know, it's not uncommon to find treasure books or treasure hunting books still mention the Rhodes mine. It's not lost. It's right here. It is a little bit dark in the cabin right now. Oh, that's kind of neat. Let me go ahead and get a flashlight and we'll go ahead and check out the cabin. So what this is this cabin was set up for a remote desert cabin. There's a lot of them out there. That's a neat little stove. That is really cool. But back to it, there's a lot of cabins out here in the Southwest that are just, they're in decent condition to where they can be still used. So a lot of us maintain them. I've never maintained this one, but there's a couple in Nevada that I maintain where I'll bring water to the site. You can always find food, water in these little places. The cabinets are set up. Now, that's if I actually open it up properly. So there you go. And so mouse has been getting in this one. warmer. Yeah, don't recommend it. Let's see what's in here. So drill batteries, water. Usually you'll find these old refrigerators repurposed as a cabinet. And this is to help keep the rodents from getting a lot of the food stuff. At the end of the video, I'll be posting more still photos of the site, of inside the cabin and around the cabin. Oh. Oh, very neat stuff. And I will sign this. Sign that before I leave. Let's go ahead and head up to the mill site and I'll meet you up there. So here's the spring. So let's go ahead and continue on up. Here's what's left of another quarters cabin. The wind hasn't been too friendly with this one. So that's a gas heater. I don't know if they're using it as a toilet or a sink. Very interesting shape there. Check out that gas range. That is really neat. Steel barrel hoop. Those interested in the heater or the oven stove, you can stay to the end of the video. I went ahead and took better stills of it along with the plates that I was able to find, the identification plates. If you don't want to wait to the end of the video or you want longer time to view it, you can head on over to my Instagram account. That information's at the end of the video. Little gas gauge. A little gauge right there still. That's neat. And we'll continue on that way. Looks like a scene from Twister. All you're missing now is the flying cow. They had something here. Now, I do know at the later part of the production of this mine, they did have a cone crusher at the mill. And when I was a teenager, I had a 59 Willys Overland station wagon, and that was where my brake master cylinder was also located. So sad about the bullet holes. So there's Rhodes Camp. And we go up here. That's the mill. And down here This is known as Rhodes Wash. And there's Rhodes Hill. And at the base of that mountain over there is known as Bradbury Wash. We might not know what happened to Mr. Rhodes, but he is remembered, even though a lot of the history is forgotten. Daggett is roughly about 200 miles that way. Most likely, instead of coming through Salisbury Pass, he might have actually came through the lowlands of Saratoga Springs up to the Badwater area before starting to climb up to this area. Question is, where is Mr. Rhodes? The mine might be found now, but he has never been located. So let's go in and check out the mill. Now a lot of the mill is from later prospects. They're not from Mr. Rhodes' era. So let's just go see what they have. Now here we go, we have our water tank. Over here is where they had the mounts for a cone crusher. So here's some stairs. Let's go ahead and head on down to the lower portion. I was going to go ahead and do another mine in Death Valley, known as the Corkscrew. What I figured, I just got done doing the Lila C, which is borax, and the Corkscrew is a borax mine, but it's still a very interesting mine nonetheless. So that is most likely going to be next week's video. Figured this week, do a little something different. So, silver mine it is. Hopefully this gets you excited enough to get out and explore your local area. And it doesn't have to be this type of exploration. There's a lot of other things you can do. But get out. See your world if you can. Have fun. And most of all, be safe.